can see, we're a little bit wrapped up for today's adventure. We're going up this fell there, little one there. It's called Rossett Pike. I think that's it. I'm quite happy because I would regard myself as an experienced hiker, definitely, but not, I haven't got a whole lot of experience in winter conditions. So I was looking, I think this is Bowfell, see the big one with all the snow. And I was thinking, you know what, I've not got my crampons. I'm just not prepared for that sort of amount of snow, even though it's not a lot. So I'm quite glad it's the smaller one around the corner there. But, as you can probably tell, hoping for a little bit of winter photography today. The reason I'm going up this one is I sold a print recently of a photograph of Blee Tarn. I'll put it up on the screen so you know which one I'm on about. That was taken from like Lingmore Fell area. And in the background was Rossett Pike. The gentleman that bought the print actually said, I think that's Rossett Pike in the background, is it not? And I actually didn't have a clue, to be honest. So I looked it up and confirmed it to him, and that's my inspiration for going up this one, really. Again, my inspirations for going up these mountains are always proper random. All someone has to do is name one of them and I think, I'll go up that one next. But no, I'm excited for this one, mainly, like I said, because of the snow and the winter conditions. Fingers crossed we can get some nice photographs. So far the walk, the sun's out up here on the Langdale Pikes. My point is, you've probably seen the waterproofs are on and off, there's showers, there's light every now and again. It's wonderful. In fact, back in towards the Langdale Valley, it's actually clearing up quite a lot. Whereas in this direction, it's a little bit atmospheric. But that's fantastic, because this is the direction I want to take a photograph here. Now, before I get set up, I wanted to give a sort of special mention to this little stage now when you're looking to try and take a photograph, because I just think it's so important. Probably the most important stage or approach in the whole act of taking a photograph. And that is the bit where you just stop and look at what caught your eye in the first place, and then start thinking like a photographer. You know, you start thinking about, how am I to construct a photograph here? What little things do I need to change to fine tune this and to ultimately perfect this composition that I'm going for here? And that's all I've done. But what I really wanted to say is, that little section there, I actually do without my camera. You know, the bag goes down, don't have my camera out, I certainly don't have my tripod out, and I'm just walking around, you know. To me, all right, this scene here, to an extent, is probably quite obvious. We've got a few fells in the background, including Rossett Pike, which is nice. And then we've got this nice series of waterfalls here. Fairly simple. But what I'm going to do here is get in close to this waterfall with the wide angle lens, so it starts to become just a little bit more intricate, you know. So I feel that it's really important to try and, in this case, to try and perfect the foreground and literally try and figure out where it is I want to put my camera to get the best perspective for this photograph. So that's what I'm going to do now. Oh, sorry, I've done that already. I'm going to get the camera out now and put it exactly where I've figured out I think is going to be best for this composition. Top stuff! So, this has been, there's the camera, this has been a little bit of an awkward one. Probably, as you've seen, you know, we're just on a really small little section of rock right next to this waterfall. It's absolutely stunning, all the same, but yeah, it's just been tricky with the tripod, really. You know, when you're sort of fighting against the tripod legs, trying to get them in little pockets of the rock, little sections where you can just trust that your camera's not going to fall in the water, like my Nikon D7200. But anyway, I've done it and we're ready. And this is one of them shots, to be honest, that I feel really good about. I'm very excited to get this one home, up on the computer with a coffee or a beer when I'm in Lightroom, because I just think it looks great on the back of the camera, you know. So like I said a second ago, I spent a lot of time without the camera in hand, just having a look at the composition, having a look at the foreground, figuring out where I wanted to put the camera. And then when I get the camera out, that's my little second approach then. And that's, I always say this on my one-to-one workshops, it's a little fine-tuning section where I've pretty much decided on my composition. But when you start looking through the viewfinder, you know, you might actually disagree with yourself, which is what I do a lot as well. I contradict myself and I say, actually, no. So it's basically it's a lot of trial and error, you know. But I'm set up and I'm good to go. So nice and simple with the composition, let's be honest. We've got this beautiful roaring waterfall of Mickleden Beck here in the foreground. And then, like I think I mentioned, it's that one there, Rossett Pike, which is that one. And I've got this sort of range here, this sort of flat top right in the central area at the top of the frame. And I love that. I love taking these photographs where I'm getting an image of the fell that I'm going up on the Wainwright, you know, it's class. But I do feel like the foreground and the background subjects marry together so well, especially because we've got a little dusting of snow up there on Rossett Pike, and that looks nice with this sort of, obviously it's just white down here, look at it. Absolutely wonderful. So the settings have been quite important. I'm at 1/5 of a second. The shutter speed was my priority here, as it always is with moving water. And I like that. I love the way that the water looks. We're getting that nice milky look. And to get that, I've put it to F9. And actually ISO 100, I've put the ISO up slightly, up from ISO 64, but that's that. You know, I've got the polarizer on the front, just to get some of the sheen, some of the glare off these rocks, because they're black, you know, and I love the contrast between the black and the white. It's something that I always look for in these sorts of scenes here in the Lake District. One more thing I wanted to mention then, it's just slipped my mind. Oh yeah, a focus stacked as well, very important in my opinion here. I want it pin sharp right from the rocks down here, literally sort of 10 inches in front of the camera lens. And then I've taken 2 shots in the middle and then one focused on Rossett Pike in the background, so it should be nice and sharp all the way through, you know, because I'm focus stacking. And that's that. I'm at, what am I at? About 17 mil on the 14 to 30 millimeter f4 Z lens. Should be a cracker. Well, we are up in the snow. Oh, and it's first it's a little bit deeper than I thought, so I'm definitely glad I was only going up Rossett Pike and not higher, because I think I mentioned earlier I don't really feel prepared. But anyway, Rossett Pike, we're on the final straight. It's about 40 minutes till the sunset. Unfortunately, as you can tell, the visibility has gone. The weather, I feel like the weather's come in from 2 different sides and it's sandwiched us. So it's a bit of a shame, but you can see hopefully in the background every now and again, we are getting small breaks. So like I said, 40 minutes till the sunset, fingers crossed we can at least get something. But probably 2 saving graces. Firstly with the photography, on the back of the camera, I'm really liking the way them two photographs are looking, you know, on the way up. Excuse me. Secondly, although the weather has come in, it's not that bad. You know, it's not windy, it's not nailing it down with rain. It's still, believe it or not, fairly pleasant. It is just a little bit unfortunate with the visibility. We have got as well, you can hopefully see behind me there, it does dip down a little bit. That is Angle Tarn down there, so I'm hoping at the very least we'll be able to see him. But anyway, I'm going to make this final straight now up towards Rossett Pike, and we'll see what happens with the conditions. So I've decided not to go Rossett Pike just yet, just because I'm so close to Angle Tarn here that I thought it'd be a shame not to come a little bit further over the brow of this hill to grab a quick photograph of it. I'm really glad I did actually, this is stunning. Now I've got the 14 to 30 f4 lens on again. It seems I've used it all day today. And this is a weird one, I'm shooting at 16mm, so obviously that's really wide, you know. But I do feel that this is quite abstract. You know, I feel like when I usually take a photograph that I would deem to feel abstract, it would be with the 24 to 200 lens, zoomed really far in, you know, telephoto, so you can't really tell what's going on. Whereas here, yeah, 16mm, I don't know if I've ever taken a shot this wide and defined it as feeling abstract. I don't know. And I'll grab that now, 2-second timer. What a weird photograph. I don't even know if I'm going to like this. It's a strange one. It's a strange one. I'll show you it. Tell me what you think. Perhaps you think it's a load of rubbish. I don't know. That'll be fair enough. And let's see if we can start heading up Rossett Pike. You know what? I'm not going to do it. Look at it. Look at that. You know, all right, it's probably not really a good idea because it doesn't look that safe, but I'm not, although I think that's probably not the right thing to say, I'm not that bothered, you know. I feel like comfortable to go up it if I wanted to, but I just don't think there's any point in doing that last little stretch because I'm just going to go up into a ball of cloud. There's not going to be a sunset. It's bad enough here where I am, so going, you know, a little bit higher up, probably another 50-60 meters, I just don't see the point. It's a little bit frustrating because it's the same as when I went up Hartefell. You know, I've made so much effort, I'm almost there, but I just, you know, there's a purpose to these Wainwrights, and it's, yes, to photograph them, to come back with nice photographs, but I suppose mainly just to enjoy them and enjoy, you know, the view from the top of these Wainwrights, as Alfred Wainwright did himself. I just feel if I'm going to go up them like that, I could be anywhere in the world. There's just no point. So I don't, although it's frustrating, I don't really mind because I do feel within myself that I'm definitely doing the right thing. And although I said I feel comfortable going up, I just don't think it's the right thing to do in terms of safety either, just going up into a load of cloud like that when the sun's soon to be setting. So apologies about that, I suppose, if you were looking forward to the top, but I do hope you enjoyed the video and the photography. And of course, subscribe if you're new. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It does help me out. And above all, thank you so much for your support. And I'll see you on the next adventure. Out.